Welcome, everybody. As usual, today we'll begin with 10 minutes, more or less, of sharing, asking questions, and we will start the transmission formally around 10 after the hour. They've been doing this eternally. They are very, very skilled at tracking you, listening to you, understanding you. So there's no particular way to do it except whatever you find yourself doing. The only extra little guideline with angels is, like, when you make a request, they begin working on it. And when they fulfill it, they kind of like release their attention on you until you ask again. They aren't proactive. They won't go beyond what you request. Because they're just so respectful of what I would call the illusion of free will. But they'll just call it free will. They're so respectful that you have a choice, even though it's the larger truth of it. As soon as we receive actual true choice, we surrender it to the greatest good of all. So ultimately, there's only an illusion of choice, and it's there for egos because it helps keep them motivated. But anyhow, so to answer your question, no, there's no particular way. It's a relationship. Just think of it as any relationship. So in a relationship, you share, and then you expect the other to share back. So give yourself permission to imagine what is being shared back with you. Because the imagination is the highest part of your human mind. So it's the part of your mind that can receive information from beyond the mind. And the angels are definitely beyond the mind. So allow yourself to feel like you may be making it up at the beginning. But in time, what you'll see is that you begin to definitely feel that you are receiving communication that's not coming from your own imagination. It's coming through your imagination. But the more often you do it, the more you get a sense, oh, okay, yeah, that was definitely my answer, my angels answering. But at the beginning, just let yourself feel like you're making it up. That also, they track that, and then through you using your imagination and making it up, they are able to create a clearer connection with you and your mind. So again, it doesn't happen until you start playing with it. That gives them the space to reach into your system more and more. And this is true of angels, it's true of all guides, it's true of any being of light and love. It's also true of your own higher self, your own divine being, your own divine self. Yeah. Good question. Yeah, there's multiple things. So expansion's part of it. The level of consciousness that you're maintaining is part of it. And then the clearing of the blocks, because the blocks are resistance to self-exciting. That's why, like, you can enter into self-exciting when you're in a very high vibration. And, like when you're doing one of the videos or one of the transmissions in some way, you might get into where you're in self-exciting. It's just maintaining itself. It's increasing on its own. It's clearing on its own. But if you still have a certain amount of blocks in your system, after the transmission ends, those blocks are going to take you out of self-exciting. I mean, it might last for an hour or two or a couple of days even, depending on what level you're at. But if you have a certain amount of blocks in your system and you can't maintain that higher level of consciousness in a consistent way, it will take you out of self-exciting where you'll have to restart it again at some point in some way. But the more often you go into self-exciting, the more easy it is to re-enter it later, the more easy it is to maintain it for larger periods of time. But it really all comes down to you have to keep welcoming whatever shows up, clearing whatever shows up, letting it go, so that you can maintain a higher flow constantly. Because self-exciting is a very high flow, and it wants to go higher every second. So if you still have fear in your system where, that higher flow just rams you up against a block of fear and you don't know how to deal with that block of fear, then you might need to wait, until something helps you deal with that block. So yeah, it varies for everybody because we're all at different places along the way. Good. Yeah, wonderful question. Thank you. Well, that's quite common actually. That usually means you went into some level of samadhi. So the way the guides explain that is that often it's like they move your consciousness out so that they can do more direct healing within your system. And then near the end, they bring you back in. And you can usually tell it's samadhi versus sleep. Like some people fall asleep during a transmission. But usually if it was sleep, you won't wake up at the end or near the end. Or if you do, you'll feel groggy and it'll be hard to get conscious again. But when you've been in samadhi, the transition is very easy. And usually as I'm closing it, you come conscious again and you're just right there. So from the sounds of it, you were more in samadhi, which is just taking you to where you can be as relaxed as possible so the healing can go as deep as possible. Now, when you do experience a transmission that way, it is really good to replay the transmission until you can stay conscious all the way through. And that will mean your consciousness has raised enough that they don't need to lift you out of the way anymore because you're now embodying a level of consciousness where you can just stay conscious all the way through while those higher vibrations are being received. So yeah, it's a great way to keep your vibration elevating by replaying it until you can stay conscious. And some people, it's the next time they can stay conscious all the way through. Some people have to play it 4 or 5 times before they realize, oh, I stayed awake the whole time. I know everything he said that time, So yeah, just invite you to play with that. But thanks for sharing. That's great. And welcome. We're going to go, as usual, for about 45 to 50 minutes. All you need to do is relax. Be as welcoming and opening as possible while just noticing what you notice. This is a transmission of divine love consciousness for your highest good and the highest good of all. We welcome each one of you. We are grateful for your openness to serving in this way to help to anchor this transmission for all the others that will follow. So the transmission is coming in as if from high above, and as if it's flowing down behind you. Almost like it's creating a seat or a cradle for you and your energy system and it's giving your system some time to adjust to these vibrations, this love, light, and truth. And as your system opens and decides this is trustworthy, this is for your highest good, the transmission can enter more deeply, create more support for you. You might experience that as relaxation in the body now. As well as in the heart and mind. I'm continuing to see the transmission creating what looks like a recliner of light, a very comfortable bed or recliner of light and love. And there's a particular focus on each cell in your body, upgrading, cleansing each cell in your body, clearing toxins that may be stored there. Both physical toxins, energetic toxins, emotional toxins or blocked emotional energy. The focus has been on the cell, each cell overall. Now it's also targeting the mitochondria, the power centers of the cell. This is more like a laser beam of light. So there's some reprogramming going on in the mitochondria. This is upgrading your mitochondria to make it more sensitive to like the radiation of the sun and other electromagnetic radiation that can also be a source of fuel for your physical energy system. Yeah, so some very interesting refinements happening within the mitochondria. This is also affecting the DNA, which genes are turned on, which genes are turned off. Turning on the genes that allow this like wider spectrum of electromagnetic energy to be sourced by the mitochondria for more energy. And it's like more awakeness, more like consciousness. Okay, that's interesting. It's bringing more awakened consciousness now to the cell overall. Some of you might be sensitive enough to feel that this is like creating waves of bliss throughout the body. And if you're not sensitive to that yet, that's fine. It's happening anyway, and it's helping your nervous system to refine to where you will be more sensitive to this kind of blissful feedback loop. As each cell is literally taking on more light and is waking up to its next level, its next step. Creating a better foundation for your infinite divine being to be able to live through your human being, live within and through your human being. Okay, Archangel Metatron and his angels are now surrounding us, lifting your whole energy system to a higher vibration, that this change within the physical is allowing you to experience overall now. Would you be willing to allow your emotional body, your mental body, your light bodies to all rise in vibration, become even more aligned and synchronized with this further awakened and light-filled physical body? So this has initiated a rather large set of transformations within your system, which are still continuing to manifest, and we're simply supporting that process, clearing what no longer fits this vibration. Would you be willing to allow your mental body, your belief systems to upgrade while releasing the old beliefs that are no longer a match for this level of living, this level of truth, this level of being, this level of consciousness? And would you be willing to allow your heart chakra to open more, expand more, to also match this level of vibration, this level of flow? Yeah, life energy just wants to flow freely through you. So anywhere it's been running into blocks, blocked emotional energy or blocking mental energy, would you allow yourself to become more conscious of those blocks so that you can easily let them go? They are no longer part of your highest good or highest truth. Great. Yeah, everyone's system's expanding even more with that. Everyone's flow is increasing. Everyone's light bodies are filling in now with more frequencies. Including frequencies of harmony, helping all of this to harmonize at every level of your being, as well as precision, where each and every energy finds its precise position, precise frequency, precise function alongside every other energy, every other vibration. Yeah, these frequencies of precision are fine-tuning you at every level. Ultimately, this allows a greater smoothness. Your life becomes smoother. Okay, there are some resistances coming up, but the resistances I'm seeing right now are mostly external to your system, meaning they're coming more from the collective than from deeper in your unconscious. So, okay. So the guides are suggesting we Okay, we're going to start from way up high. So reaching up to the transcendent divine, the transcendent aspect of the divine, that which is like fully, fully, fully beyond us. Okay, they're having me find. There's a particular divine thread of golden light. There it is. Okay, I got it now. That holds everything that is being offered to you today. Everything we've been doing already and that we'll continue doing here. All that energy, information is contained within this thread that we are pulling down to your crown chakra and then giving your crown some time to get used to it, to adjust and to open. Okay, pulling it into the crown now, the crown chakra right at the center. Continuing down to the third eye chakra. Yeah, your systems are already pretty well attuned with this, so we're continuing to the throat, down into the heart. A few extra adjustments happening there in the heart. The heart is aligning yet further with this pure divine thread and the information it contains. It's allowing your heart to orient to divine love even more directly. Continuing down into the third chakra, realigning your will. Second chakra, first chakra. And now the angels are assisting, taking it all the way down to the center of the earth. So it can be anchored there and made accessible to everyone from there. Still anchoring to the center of the earth, allowing the earth and the collective some time to adjust to this new information, new set of frequencies being made available through this group, through this transmission. Okay, that's anchored and it's now begun radiating out to everyone, especially those who are most ready for it, most open to receiving it. Yeah, and as those beings come online, that sends feedback to this group, to you. You might just feel for this feedback that's coming as gratitude, as more resonance with this energy. Yeah, good. So that resistance, that external resistance that was coming from the collective earlier is already dissolving. The more of this that comes online through those that are most open to it, yeah, the more that resistance just begins to dissolve, become less and less of a factor. Okay, the angels want to use this as an opportunity to amp it up much, much more. So Archangel Metatron is using his multidimensional cube and just thousands and thousands of his helping angels are assisting. And then Archangel Michael and his hosts of angels are joining, taking the position around us, around the earth. Okay, now Archangel Uriel and his angels are joining the mix. The energy coming off of Metatron and his angels, I experience as golden and white. The primary energy from Michael is blue. And from Uriel, it's a yellow that comes really close to gold. And then there's Archangel Raphael. His angels are holding both that healing pink and healing green frequencies. Okay, together, these four groups along with Metatron's cube, it's like they're building a structure all around and through the earth. It's like what was happening with us each individually at the beginning of the transmission, to where our cells and our mitochondria were being upgraded to be able to function more and more directly from light and light radiation. It's like a version of that is being introduced to the earth, to the planet. And this group and other groups like it are helping to be a channel for this, to be an anchor for this. Yeah, this is a wonderful opportunity to serve the earth and the whole collective, all of humanity, all of these angels, ultimately all that is. So just notice what you notice in the silence for a while here as this continues to grow, deepen, expand. So energetically, it's the way I'm seeing it is there's like a miniature sun at the center of the earth. There's this golden fiery ball of light. And that's part of this activation. That's being made even more like brilliant. And they're showing me how this is already affecting like the war zones around the planet, dysfunctional governments, imbalanced corporate and financial systems. Yeah, would you be willing to allow yourself to just continue to serve through being open, knowing this is a powerful way to help you to grow, to heal, to become more and more realized. Through helping others to do so as well, through helping the whole planet to awaken. So this whole phenomenon is getting so brilliant. It's attracting the attention of galactic beings and other multidimensional beings. Various forms of God who are bringing their light, love, truth, and attention to all that we and the angels are doing, turning the volume up even more for all of us. And it's good for you to know if you begin to feel like you're getting saturated, like maybe you're nearing some kind of limit, you can just welcome that experience and let it go. And discover that there are no limits. You are an infinite divine being with no limits to your expansion, your expression, your being. Would you be willing to let go of all identifications with being small, separate, limited, in fear, and let yourself know and experience the truth of who and what you are. As infinite divine being, even while here in a human body, a human lifetime, would you be willing to allow yourself to explore beyond the limits that you've been assuming are part of you, or part of this lifetime, or part of being on Earth? Allow your system to be updated with the freshest, truest information possible regarding all of that. Now, and if anything feels even a little uncomfortable or painful, it's good for you to know that's just old stuff coming up to be released. You just welcome it to complete itself and be gone for good. You just let it go, and it falls away. So the guides are bringing the focus back to this like mini sun at the center of the earth, this brilliant burning fire. And they're suggesting allow anything you feel blocked by in life, anything you feel limited by, any walls you feel like you keep butting up against, just surrender them to this fire. It's powerful enough to handle whatever you've got, whatever you keep running into. Yeah. See, feel, yeah, good. Feel the freedom, that growing freedom as you surrender your roadblocks, your walls, your stuckness to this extremely powerful light, love, and truth. A higher vibration always dissolves any and all lower vibrations. That's all that's happening here. You're offering what's been a lower vibration to a higher vibration, and the higher vibration receives it and dissolves it completely. Yeah, go ahead and take a little bit more time. Search around. Where else have you been feeling blocked or separated from something you want, from your higher good? And just surrender that to this brilliant sun. Sometimes the block that's most difficult to eliminate is the one closest to you, meaning your own sense of self, your own identification. Would you be willing to let go of? Okay, we need to back up. Would you be willing to allow yourself to notice and see and recognize how you've been limiting and blocking your own experience of yourself as an infinite divine being? Yeah, with these identifications and beliefs that are simply not true for you, would you be willing to allow those to fall into the fire as well? And then would you be willing to allow even the ones you don't yet recognize, these blocks that are not your highest truth, would you be willing to surrender those in faith and let them dissolve in the fire as well? And just notice what you notice. Who are you now? And if you're even more than that, who are you? And if you could remember, reawaken to, realize even beyond that, who are you? And as we begin to shift the energies now, it is good for you to know that you can reconfigure your own consciousness to be the best it can be for you for the rest of your day and onward, just by the intention to do so. As you begin to bring more awareness back to your body, to your present location, to your human divine being as you are here now. All the high beings of love and light and angels are sharing their gratitude in one final blessing. This session is complete. We thank you for your service, your dedication, your courage, and all the work you are doing as light workers. Infinite blessings.